Welcome to the Realness Required podcast. My name is Walty.
My name is Erica.
What are we talking about today, Erica?
We're going to be talking about energy.
Energy. Okay, big topic. Okay. So, as a baseline, everything is energy, okay? This is energy, this is energy, this is energy. It's all energy. I know it seems very abstract.
Correct. It's a lot to break down.
When you hear energy, what's the first thing you think of? And you can be frank.
Oh my goodness, these people that believe in energy, and oh my goodness, here goes this energy person. But I think more so for me, it's the same thing. I just wasn't speaking it as energy. It's more like a vibe for me. If I get a vibe off somebody, whether good or bad, or I really like this person's vibe, that comes across to me as energy. That's what energy is to me.
I can see that.
Yes.
For me, energy is what everything is made up of. So everything has like an energy signature. And that energy signature, it can more or less change. It can, depending on who you're around. Example, say you have someone who you're not vibing with. You get an intuitive read that this person is no longer for you. This relationship has expired. To me, that is intuition. That intuition is trying to tell you that the energy here is no longer a fit. So it's communicating to you that the energy is not congruent with you and your higher goals, path, purpose, etc. So whereas last week we were talking about intuition, now we're taking it a step further. The intuition in this example is communicating that the energy is no longer harmonious or congruent. So you get an intuitive hit that this friendship is done. You can just follow that intuitive information. Like we said, the sooner you listen to it, the sooner you get on to the business that you need to be getting onto and your path and your calling and your purpose, etc. However, what is actually being communicated in that intuitive moment is that this person's energy is no longer congruent or harmonious with yours. That's what I think is being communicated. It's a recognition that the energy is off and no longer supportive of your higher path.
Do you feel the energy is off before you get the intuition? Or are you saying that is the intuition once you feel the energy being off?
I say that is the intuition.
Oh, okay.
Like we said, intuition has a feeling associated with it.
It does.
It's not just a thought. So when you get that gut feeling, that intuition that this is off, you're reading the energy. And what that read is, why does it feel off? Because there is an awareness of self that your energy is one place and this person energy is not a match, is not congruent anymore. So to me, that is the intuition coming in. You're not going to read the energy without the intuition. The intuition is a reading that is beyond what you can see. It's immaterial. You're picking up on something that you don't have tangible evidence of. That's what intuition is, why intuition is coming in. And you don't have tangible evidence of energy. It just is. It's a vibe, like you said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Intuition is communicating the state of energy between you and that individual. Now, if your intuition is communicating that you need to go to the gym an extra day, the energy behind that intuition is this choice will be in alignment with the best version of you, with the highest version of you, with your path that you're on. Again, the intuition is coming in to support you, and the energetic element behind that intuition is saying this choice or this action would be congruent, or this action would be harmonious, or this person is not harmonious or is disharmonious. So intuition is a reading of the energy in one way or another.
And you don't necessarily have to know why that is. You just go with it.
Correct.
You don't have to know if it's your energy that's off with that person or their energy that is off with you, or if it's both.
Correct.
Okay.
A good example of how energy works is when someone enters your life, there is an energetic resonance between you and that person. And it's very strong because of all the people that you could attract energetically, the people that you are attracting into your life, the people in your proximity, in your orbit, are energetic matches. As your life progresses, the months go by, days go by, relationships develop, people exit your life, friendships end. Now there is no longer energetic resonance because you are not sharing the same proximity or orbit with this person. There is disharmony between you and this person. Because if there were harmony, you would maintain orbit with them. So being aware of the energetic difference is not to judge someone's energy and say, oh, they got bad energy and I got good energy. It's just understanding that we are going two separate paths. They must have a different energetic vibe that doesn't resonate where I'm going and what path I'm on. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just like, I guess the example from my life that I can put in that is when I got saved, I was 19, but I knew that my choice and the way I was going to choose to live going forward meant that I was no longer congruent with some of the people that I was around. So I knew that they were no longer energetic matches for me, if we want to put it that way. And so I had to make a choice if I'm going to continue to be around those people or if I'm going to go ahead and make my exit. Because it's going to ultimately happen anyway. Either they're going to match me energetically or I'm going to match them. And I wasn't planning to match them.
Like you said, those friends would either have to match where you are. So maybe also be like, oh, I want to be on that path too. Like I feel inspired to be on that path with you. Or you would have to drop down to where they are and just say to yourself, I guess that was just a fleeting thought, being saved. I'd rather keep my friends. What's interesting is even if you were to question your intuition and try to maintain those friendships, you could not force those friendships to be if there was no longer energetic resonance. You could try to remain friends with them, but you're prolonging the business you need to get to as far as being saved and being set on that path by keeping these people around. You're not going to be more powerful than the force that's separating you because you're not a match with this person. Yeah. So whether it's a circumstance where they end the friendship with you or you end the friendship with them, or maybe there's some weird external situation that creates a chasm between you and the rest of these folks. Something's going to happen so that you are no longer in their orbit. You cannot force orbit with where there's no resonance. You can try to, but it's not going to last long.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. If I chose to continue to hang around them, it was going to happen anyway. Either they were going to stop hanging out with me or I was going to stop hanging out with them because it wouldn't even feel right. You would feel a certain way every time you was around this person. It would feel off. So why put yourself through that? And so I knew that the second that I made that decision, I knew it almost immediately. I'm like, okay, so I can't go back. So I am going to now have to make some decisions on letting some people go. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't hold on to them or anything like that. And if they're meant, if they do align with you at some point, then they'll come back around. They'll be back in your life again. You will rekindle the friendship later in life as they grow, as you grow. Maybe that's a possibility. But in that moment, energetically, you're not a match. So you need to let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can speak to a similar circumstance just this past year. Intuitive information coming in, maybe not avoiding the intuitive information that was coming in about a person's vibe or person's energy. I think in that moment, I was kind of justifying, giving the benefit of the doubt, not realizing it was my intuition, not realizing it was something coming in telling me something's off. Like, I don't like this. And I didn't really listen to that voice as much as I should have. I think because I was trying to maintain a certain order and comfort for the friend group that I was in. But my intuition was telling me there was a vibe shift that I am detecting. And I think the reason why I got tripped up in not following that intuition of that vibe shift, that energetic shift with me and a friend, is because I didn't realize it was intuitive information coming in. I thought it was just, I'm just going through it today. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a me thing. Like, I'm just going through it, justifying it away. It didn't even dawn on me. And only to find out after months of that, the friendship carrying on, that never really going away, that feeling of like, something is off with this person. Like, I don't want to be around them. And the reason why it lasted so long is because I was looking for reasoning. Like, what is going on? Like, that's why I was just shooing it away. Like, it must be just a me thing.
When intuition don't have to have a reason. Yeah.
Right. Intuition doesn't have to have a reason. Yeah. And if intuition is coming through to let me know there's an energetic offness here with this person, an incongruence with you and them, you don't need justification. I didn't know that. I was trying to justify it. I was like, what's going on here? But ultimately, to your point, that came to a close when circumstances with the friend group had occurred that I was like, light bulb moment. I need to end things with this person, and I don't need to explain why. It just has been like this. It was a recognition after a few months since the vibe shift that there's not a resonance here anymore. This path has ended. This friendship is over. As soon as that light bulb came on, I just had to honor that feeling immediately. And I didn't have to get into what it was energetically. There was no harmony between him and I anymore. And that ick feeling, and I know that could be a little, like, it sounds mean to say like an ick feeling, but it's that like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Had happened.
But we being real.
Yeah, like something didn't feel right for so many months. Like every time I would see this person, it's like, oh, I don't know why I find this person so irritating or so grating energetically. And it's nothing personal. It didn't feel like it was personal. In actuality, it was just energetically like, we are not on the same page anymore. Once I realized I didn't have to have reasoning, that us not being on the same page, us not being energetic matches for each other anymore was enough of a reason to end it, I did.
And it was just that quick. Yeah, you just decide it and you just do it. And I think what comes into play too with the reasoning is that you want to know, are you crazy? Or why are you thinking this way? Or because you're looking at it like, this person didn't even do anything to me.
Correct.
That's what you're looking at ultimately. And so you may ask for advice. You may run it by somebody and they're like, well, try this or do this. And so you follow that advice because you just don't know. You really are trying to figure it out. But the more, again, you follow your intuition and the quicker you do it, then you're going to just keep doing that. I think when you don't recognize it at first, it may take weeks or maybe months. And then you're going to realize that was my intuition. But once you realize that that is what it is, then you need to act on it quickly going forward. And I think that's what you're going to choose to do if that were to happen again with you and another person, with you and a friend.
And I certainly have just dating someone.
Yeah.
I had to make that decision, and I was able to make that much sooner because having let go of the friendship upon having that light bulb moment that, oh my gosh, there's just not a energetic resonance or match between him and I anymore, that was enough reason to be like, hey, we're going separate paths at this point. Thank you for the time that we shared together. I was able, once I knew that was enough of a reason, when I had dated someone a few months later, I was able to say to them essentially the same thing once I felt intuitively that had run its course and there's no more here between us. And like as soon as I had that awareness, I feel like I did it that same day. As soon as that awareness came in, that there's nothing more with me and this person.
Yeah.
I was able to let that go and let them know. But the thing is, it's like bringing that back to energy, your intuition is indicating to you, this choice would be an energetic match. This person is no longer an energetic match. So letting go of this person gets you more in alignment, more in harmony with whatever your goal, purpose, etc. is. So intuition is coming in to support you, to get you on track, and to let you know that this is not harmonious for that track you need to be on.
Correct. And for me, I've had those moments, okay, the vibe is off with this person. And usually very quickly I act on those. Maybe not in all situations, like maybe not in a relationship in the past, because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You may not want to be alone. You may not, because you know it's going to result in a breakup. So you may not want to be alone. You may have a lot of stuff that's got to get sorted out. Maybe you live together. Maybe you got things, in each other's name, just stuff like that. And you just don't want to deal with it. But again, if it's no longer a match, then that's where it's going to enter discord. That's where drama is going to enter. That's where toxicity is going to enter. All of these other things are going to enter because you're not on the same energy wavelength. You're not an energetic match. You're going to be apart at some point. So why not speed that along and go ahead and end things versus letting it play out? It just may not work out well if you do it that way.
And that makes me think of how people will get married with the notion that, they'll change when we marry each other.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Then they'll change because, they love me and whatnot. How people justify it that way?
Yeah.
They'll change. It's like, girl, if your intuition's already saying, well, your eyes are already telling you that.
Not your eyes.
Your eyes are telling you how they are.
Yeah.
Okay, you already know.
Correct.
But, for one, to expect them to marry that, no, they're going to say exactly the same. But if you intuitively know that this already has an expiration date before it's even started,
yes,
and you marry someone, that goes back into why are you not following your intuition, making more problems for yourself? Because your intuition is already telling you something is off between y'all two.
Correct.
Why are you trying to force proximity or orbit when I can tell you, seeing it enough times with other people, something is going to cause that to break up. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it will not last. And you won't be surprised when it doesn't.
Correct. And then it's going to end up in annulment. And, okay, so you just had us come to this wedding for nothing? Because literally a month or two later, you not even together? Or you end in divorce in a year. May last 2. But, okay, again, what really did you get out of that? Because I'm pretty sure the time that you were together after the honeymoon, because that's the nice time, that's the sweet time, that's the fun time, then real life happens, and then you're arguing, you're disagreeing, all of this going on, you're fighting, and then it's going to do what? End up in divorce anyway. So you should have just followed your intuition.
Again, if intuition is reading the energy, and intuition only supports you, so discerning that this energy is harmonious or this energy is disharmonious, again, it's not meant to judge. Oh, that person has bad energy or that person has good energy. It's not about that. It's that energy doesn't feel congruent with me anymore.
Correct.
That
is a better way of putting it, because I feel like a lot of people say bad vibe or good vibe when it's just they don't vibe with me.
Right.
They could vibe well with someone else.
And they will once you exit.
Correct. So let them vibe with who they best vibe with. But they not on my wavelength. They're not going to be able to vibe with me.
But not you in your ego thinking you're doing them a favor by staying around. When your intuition is telling you that, something's off here.
Oh, yeah.
The whole reasoning, they don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to get anybody else if you stay put and lie to yourself that this person is a key when they're not.
But a lot of people don't know that they have to exit in order for that person to have someone come in. Or you have to get rid of someone in order for someone to come into your life. A lot of people don't realize that.
And that's a good point. If I think of a metaphor of a closet, in your life, we all have had this experience. We've accumulated clothes. A lot of those clothes, either, girl, why are we keeping them when they have holes in them or stains in them? We don't wear them. We have a certain rotation, a weekly rotation that we always wear in those clothes. They stay over here to the side of they have a space on the side of the closet. Those are always the ones in rotation. So what are we doing about all these other clothes? I think maybe that's sentimentality. Maybe that's, I think I'm going to be down to that weight again. Whatever the reasoning, we're holding on to things we don't wear, things we haven't worn in a long time. You only have so much space in your closet. So if you want new stuff in your life and there's no space, you got to make space. If that stuff is not being worn, it's the same thing as these people are no longer serving you. So donate those clothes to the Goodwill.
Yeah.
They will be correct for someone else, just like donate these friends to the rest of society where they can find a friend that is a better match for them. But you have to take ownership and acknowledge that that is not a fit for me anymore. You have to say, I haven't worn that shirt in a long ass time, so I need to get rid of it because that could help somebody else. Or let me give it to my cousin or donate this because that will be a fit for someone else. Just like that friend will be a fit for somebody else. But you got to own that they're not a fit for you.
Correct.
Why are you thinking that you need to stay put because, why? Because they won't have anybody else? That's a big ego to think that you're their savior. I'm just saying.
And I kind of think back to where a lot of people keep a guy or a female in their life because it's a friends with benefit situation. And they keep them around until they find their person. You are not going to find your person as long as you hooking up with somebody. Even if it's the same person. You're hooking up with someone. They don't want a relationship with you. They haven't in the last 3 years you've been hooking up with them. You're not in a relationship with them. You're just hooking up, but you're going to have to let that go if you want the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. Or if you want someone that actually wants to be committed to you in a way. Then you're going to have to let that friends with benefits situation go.
Which that brings up a great point because, again, energetics, how energy works, what I've found is it's going to be a response to your intention. So
that's good.
With intention, if you're trying to just get yours and have somebody around to make you feel comfortable and to get off, then you can't expect to get anything more than that because you're not putting that out there as your intention. Your intention is comfort and penis, I feel like. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you really wanted connection and depth, if that's really what you want, you're not emitting that energetic frequency. So how can you expect to get that if you are not putting it out there that way? It's like if you don't make room in the closet, nothing else can come in.
Yeah. So you have to omit that. Like you have to want that, desire that, and make room for that, intend that, for that to come in.
Yes.
Okay. And see, a lot of people don't understand that. Again, they're thinking, okay, well, I'm not committed to anybody, so I'm still open to meeting somebody. I'm still open to finding my person. But again, if they're matched with this person that they're sleeping with, and you're not congruent, you already know you're not, or you would have been in a committed relationship by now, then you're gonna have to let that person go. Period.
Yeah.
So that right person can find you, so that you can meet.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're allowing the hookup situation, I'm not judging the hookup situation, do your thing.
Yeah.
But recognize that if you are allowing energetically yourself to be in that situation, but you're saying that you want something else, something is off. What you're getting is going to be a response to what you intend. It sounds like you're wishing for connection, depth, and marriage, but you're intending to have comfort because you're going to get what you intend or what you're settling for. Do you really think that you're worth that if you're settling for that? Again, not judging the hookup situation, but be real with yourself. We're not going to get anywhere unless we're real to start with.
Correct. So if you want the hookup situation, then keep the hookup situation. But if you are only hooking up because that's passing time until you meet someone, then meeting someone not with any true connection is going to happen.
And trust me, when you are saying to yourself, I really want depth and connection with someone, you will be tempted. You will be tempted back to the hookup situation. And it's designed that way because it's like, are you really about it though? Are you really about what you intend? Because you're going to be tested to see. And it's not to say like, oh, you failed the test or didn't fail the test. It isn't about that. But staying convicted that you know this is what I want and messing with that person is just a waste of my time shows that your intention is that strong. Your conviction is that strong. So it will allow for the energetic match of that person to get to you sooner. But the temptation is going to come in to try you.
Correct. So you're going to have to know how to be like, nope, not going back to that. Like once you end it, no, energetically, you cannot go back to that.
Because you're stooping back down to that level. So it's like you're back at ground zero.
Correct. And you're not living out the intention. If you have an intention to meet someone and have a meaningful relationship, you want someone to choose you, you want to have connection with somebody, then that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to let go of the person that's occupying and taking up space to allow room for someone else.
And energetically, I think of family members that talk junk about their other family members, or talk like about people they see on a regular basis or talk to on the phone on a regular basis. Oh, I'm going to talk to this person, my cousin, and then I'm going to talk to my sister and talk junk about my cousin to my sister. If you're hanging out with your cousin and you're complaining about them, girl, you hang out with them. So you're an energetic match to them. So really, you're reading yourself. Y'all are an energetic match. But you're acting like you're better because you're talking junk about, but again, they're probably talking junk about you if that's the kind of relationship that y'all have.
Yeah.
So y'all are very much the same.
So you just got to recognize that. So you're saying that if you energetically match with someone, then you're pretty much the same type of person, or you operate the same, or you kind of move the same way.
Yeah. Otherwise, there would be disharmony and you would not be in their orbit or proximity anymore.
Okay.
Look at who you allow in your space. Look at the people that surround you. It says more about you than it does them. You can't control them. But it might show you changes that you want to make with yourself. Because there's a saying that you're the sum of the 5 people or average of the 5 people closest to you kind of thing. So I guess it's kind of like that. But yeah, like, what are you allowing? What energetically are you allowing? You're no different than what you allow.
Yeah. So just recognizing that is the start.
100%.
And then just knowing when you get that feeling of not being congruent with someone, no matter how long you've known them, how many years, who they even are, because it could be a family member. It may not just be a friend. It could be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It could be a coworker, just whatever. Once you get that feeling and you know that that's not a person that you need to have close to you, then you need to make that change. However that needs to happen, whether it's a text, whether you have a conversation, whether you just want to create some distance, whatever that is, but you need to know that you're no longer aligned energetically.
Right.
Yeah.
Intuition has come in to let you know there is disharmony between us. And disharmony is completely taking me off my path. If I'm detecting disharmony, I need to do something about that. That's an indicator that I need to manage something so that I'm back on track.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. And it's so, especially if you're getting that feeling, because at first you might try to say, oh, I was just having an off day the first time you feel it and you're around this person. You may say that. You may say it was me, I'm having an off day. But if you're feeling that way the next time you're with this person, and even the next time, then let's go ahead and, especially if this is someone you hang out with a few times a week, or that you hang out with every week.
Or you start to notice yourself snapping on someone or having short patience with someone, and you don't even know why.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that.
And then so once that happens, you need to go ahead and say, okay, this is a person, obviously our energies are not aligning. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. No. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. but our energies are no longer aligning. If you put it that way, it actually may make you feel better about having to separate from this person versus putting blame on them like you're a bad person, I'm a good person, or you did this and you don't even have to go there.
No.
You can just simply say, we are no longer a match energetically. And I appreciate the relationship that we've had, and I'm just going to have to end it at this point.
Which goes back to, that is enough of a reason. If you feel like you need to give somebody a reason as to why you're taking separate paths with them, or why this friendship, relationship has expired, if you feel you need to explain it, saying that my intuition came in and I think it ends here, that's saying saying intuition or this is no longer an energetic match, I think is enough of a reason if you feel like you need to give one. And whether or not that person understands that is their business. You didn't have to give a reason to begin with. But I feel that should give someone confidence to walk away when they feel it's over. There's disharmony and they need to end it.
And they necessarily won't be combative. Like they won't try to place blame anywhere, because that seems like something that someone would understand.
Because we all have intuition.
Correct.
So on some level, even someone who hasn't worked the intuitive muscle out a lot would still get it. When it comes to energy is either going to feel harmonious or disharmonious. So your intuition is coming in to indicate to you there's harmony here if you take this path or make this choice, or disharmony here that you want to address. So that, again, because your intuition is coming in to support your energetic harmony with the path that you're on that's unique to you.
Yeah. That sums up energy.
That's energy. So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye, guys.